Hello everyone, welcome to Reading the Bible with Emily. Today we're going to read Genesis chapter 50, the last chapter of Genesis, but I'm going to try something different. I usually read from the World English Bible. I've started reading from the King James, but then I switched to the World English Bible. But I've been wanting to read from the King James, so we're going to try reading the chapter from the King James and also from the World English Bible in the same video. So I'm going to try that, and we'll see if time allows for that in the future. But I also wanted to say that I completely forgot again to put up a review short for our Bible memory verse this week. And if I'm completely honest, I do not know the Bible memory verse. I did the video and then completely forgot about it. So I am going to take a break from the weekly memory verses. I had 3 people answer the poll on whether or not they wanted weekly or bi-weekly, but since then I've not really been getting much traction on the last video that I did. I don't even know if it has any views, but I'm not able to keep up with that right now. I can't remember to do the shorts, and the trivia question I also forgot last week. So for that reason, I'm going to take a break from the weekly memory verses. Maybe if time allows for it, I'll do a memory verse every now and then, but for the sake of focusing on the Word of God, I'm going to take a break from the memory verses because I feel like I'm just trying to pump out content at this point, and that's not the point of this channel. So we're going to focus on reading the Bible, and hopefully I'll be able to get out more Psalm shorts this way. I have not made a Psalm short in quite a while, and I want to continue doing that. So in order to read the Bible more, make more Psalm videos, and just focus on making quality Bible reading videos, I'm going to take a break from doing the weekly memory verses, and I hope you understand. But I encourage you to keep memorizing verses on your own. And my son is memorizing verses for school, so I should probably focus on helping him with those memory verses and just step back from the ones that I'm doing on the channel. So I hope you understand. But now we are going to read Genesis chapter 50, and I'm going to start with the King James Version, and then I'll switch over to the World English Bible on my Kindle. You can always fast forward to the World English Bible if that's what you want to listen to, and you can always stop after the King James if that's what you want to listen to. So let's go ahead and read Genesis chapter 50. And Joseph fell upon his father's face, and wept upon him, and kissed him. And Joseph commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father. And the physicians embalmed Israel. And 40 days were fulfilled for him, for so are fulfilled the days of those which are embalmed. And the Egyptians mourned for him 60 days. And when the days of his mourning were past, Joseph spake unto the house of Pharaoh, saying, If now I have found grace in your eyes, speak, I pray you, in the ears of Pharaoh, saying, My father made me swear, saying, Lo, I die. In my grave which I have digged for me in the land of Canaan, there shalt thou bury me. Now therefore let me go up, I pray thee, and bury my father, and I will come again. And Pharaoh said, Go up, and bury thy father, according as he made thee swear. And Joseph went up to bury his father, and with him went up all the servants of Pharaoh, the elders of his house, and all the elders of the land of Egypt, and all the house of Joseph, and his brethren, and his father's house. Only their little ones, and their flocks, and their herds, they left in the land of Goshen. And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen, and it was a very great company. And they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond Jordan, and there they mourned with a great and very sore lamentation. And he made a mourning for his father 7 days. And when the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, they said, This is a grievous mourning to the Egyptians. Wherefore the name of it was called Abel Mizraim, which is beyond Jordan. And his sons did unto him according as he commanded them. For his sons carried him into the land of Canaan, and buried him in the cave of the field of Machpelah, which Abraham bought with the field for a possession of a burying place of Ephron the Hittite, before Mamre. And Joseph returned into Egypt, he and his brethren, and all that went up with him to bury his father, after he had buried his father. And when Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead, they said, Joseph will peradventure hate us, and will certainly requite us all the evil which we did unto him. And they sent a messenger unto Joseph, saying, Thy father did command before he died, saying, So shall ye say unto Joseph, Forgive, I pray thee now, the trespass of thy brethren, and their sin, for they did unto thee evil. And now we pray thee, forgive the trespass of the servants of the God of thy father. And Joseph wept when they spake unto him. And his brethren also went and fell down before his face, and they said, Behold, we be thy servants. And Joseph said unto them, Fear not, for am I in the place of God? But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring to pass, as it is this day, to save much people alive. Now therefore, fear ye not, I will nourish you and your little ones. And he comforted them, and spake kindly unto them. And Joseph dwelt in Egypt, he and his father's house. And Joseph lived 110 years. And Joseph saw Ephraim's children of the 3rd generation. The children also of Machir, the son of Manasseh, were brought up upon Joseph's knees. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I die, and God will surely visit you, and bring you out of this land unto the land which he sware to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. And Joseph took an oath of the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones from hence. So Joseph died, being 110 years old, and they embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt. All right, now let's read it from the World English Bible. And let me get to it. Hopefully that reading it from both translations will give us a better understanding of the passage. All right, Genesis chapter 50 in the World English Bible. Joseph fell on his father's face, wept on him, and kissed him. Joseph commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father, and the physicians embalmed Israel. 40 days were used for him, for that is how many days it takes to embalm. The Egyptians wept for Israel for 70 days. When the days of weeping for him were past, Joseph spoke to Pharaoh's staff, saying, If now I have found favor in your eyes, please speak in the ears of Pharaoh, saying, My father made me swear, saying, Behold, I am dying. Bury me in my grave which I have dug for myself in the land of Canaan. Now therefore, please let me go up and bury my father, and I will come again. Pharaoh said, Go up and bury your father, just like he made you swear. Joseph went up to bury his father, and with him went up all the servants of Pharaoh, the elders of his house, all the elders of the land of Egypt, all the house of Joseph, his brothers, and his father's house. Only their little ones, their flocks, and their herds, they left in the land of Goshen. Both chariots and horsemen went up with him. It was a very great company. They came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond the Jordan, and there they lamented with a very great and severe lamentation. He mourned for his father 7 days. When the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, they said, This is a grievous mourning by the Egyptians. Therefore its name was called Abel Mizraim, which is beyond the Jordan. His sons did to him just as he commanded them, for his sons carried him into the land of Canaan, and buried him in the cave of the field of Machpelah, which Abraham bought with the field, as a possession for a burial site, from Ephron the Hittite, near Mamre. Joseph returned into Egypt, he and his brothers, and all that went up with him to bury his father, after he had buried his father. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, "It may be that Joseph will hate us, and will fully pay us back for all the evil which we did to him." They sent a message to Joseph, saying, "Your father commanded before he died, saying, 'You shall tell Joseph, now please forgive the disobedience of your brothers and their sin, because they did evil to you. Now please forgive the disobedience of the servants of the God of your father.'" Joseph wept when they spoke to him. His brothers also went and fell down before his face, and they said, "Behold, we are your servants." Joseph said to them, "Don't be afraid, for am I in the place of God? As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to save many people alive, as is happening today. Now therefore don't be afraid. I will provide for you and your little ones." He comforted them and spoke kindly to them. Joseph lived in Egypt, he and his father's house. Joseph lived 110 years. Joseph saw Ephraim's children to the 3rd generation. The children also of Machir, the son of Manasseh, were born on Joseph's knees. Joseph said to his brothers, "I am dying, but God will surely visit you, and bring you up out of this land to the land which he swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob." Joseph took an oath from the children of Israel, saying, "God will surely visit you, and you shall carry up my bones from here." So Joseph died, being 110 years old, and they embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt. All right. That was Genesis chapter 50 in both the King James Bible and the World English Bible. And we're done with the book of Genesis. So we get to start Exodus in our next video. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I can keep a more consistent reading from now on. But we'll see if time allows for me to read from both translations in the video. I've got quite a lot of free time today because it's Saturday, so we'll see if the weekdays allow for a double portion of reading, but hopefully, because I enjoyed that, and I hope you did. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend and a great Lord's Day tomorrow. My son let me borrow his 2 little stuffies today, so I hope you enjoyed them too. And we will see you next time.